I just built my favorite dream setup so far. Let me show you how I did it. Well, we had the absolute pleasure of reviewing the North XL, and I'll leave that review in the video description if you guys do want to check it out further. But what a case it is. We've got so much more water cooling support than the original Fractal North, so much more space to play with as well, and it still follows that clean Swedish design that we know and love from the original North. Now, for those of you who don't know this case, the major feature is actually the front panel, which is a walnut hardwood design. And that's why this is going to be the absolute perfect case for this nature themed setup, because it's all based off of this case. For our motherboard today, we're going to be showing some love for AMD, and I've decided to actually go with the X670E Tai Chi motherboard from ASRock. There's not any particular features that I really wanted to utilize out of this motherboard. It's got all the basics that we need, plenty of USB, NVMe slots, and DDR5 RAM compatibility. But what I was really after here is a motherboard that could accent the wooden aspects of this build and help complement that overall design. So with the bit of sort of copperish looking parts of the motherboard, I think that'll tie in real nice with the walnut sort of design of the Lignum EK water cooling gear and also the Fractal North case as well. You got to remember, this is going in a nature themed setup, so simplicity is what is going to take this over the line. We were really stressing out about the CPU. I didn't have a spare Ryzen CPU on hand, and money was very tight, so I couldn't go out and buy one. But Fractal Design, they actually came in clutch, guys, and sent us this for this particular build. So I really have to thank Fractal Design for making this possible, because without them, we wouldn't be able to do videos like these. Now, this is actually an older 5000 series box, but I've just put the 7900X in here just to keep it safe. Hence why you can see the tape on the front there. But the 7900X is a great CPU. It's got 12 cores, 24 threads with a base clock of 4.7 gigahertz. So it's gonna be great for gaming, rendering, editing. So it can pretty much handle anything that you throw at it. So for our RAM, we've got the Silicon Power Zenith DDR5 RAM. This is a super low profile RAM, but they also managed to have the RGB built into it. So a lot of RAM out there actually has the LED light bars sticking up a lot more, but this is down low and super slim, so you could actually fit more coolers in there. It's got way more compatibility with radiators as well. And this is 64 gigabytes, 232 gigabyte sticks. We're also running at 6,000 megahertz, so we got some fast speeds right here. And we know that Ryzen chips, they love fast speed. It's not so much about the timings on them. The RGB is also compatible with all major motherboard brands. And because it's just a clean black design on the heat shields, it's gonna fit perfectly in this build. Now, we found this NVMe for a great price, guys. This is the XS70 from Silicon Power, a 2 terabyte capacity drive. Comes with a heatsink as well if your motherboard doesn't have a heatsink built in, or you can simply remove it. The design of this heat spreader efficiently dissipates heat, making it different from other SSDs. However, due to specific usage requirements, I'm actually going to be disassembling it. But in general, I do not recommend doing this. Now get this, guys, read speeds of 7,300 megabytes per second and write of 6,800 megabytes per second. So that is way faster than Gen 3 speeds, blitzes hard drives and normal SSDs. And with 2 terabytes capacity, we can fit our favorite programs on there, we can fit our favorite games on there, and still have plenty of space to expand with a few more of these on the motherboard if need be. It's also got a 5-year warranty, so Silicon Power is certainly confident in their NVMe drives. So I can't wait to test these out in the system. Now guys, I also managed to pick up another set of RAM and an NVMe for you guys. So if you would like to win this, leave a comment down below. Tell us why you need a RAM and SSD upgrade. Also, keep an eye out in our Discord because we have even another set to give away to you guys. So we'll put that in the announcements channel very soon. So for our fans today, we're going with the Unifan SL Infinity 120 fans from Lian Li. And honestly, I think they're the perfect pick for this build. We want something that is not so in your face. We just want some accent lighting to highlight all of the wooden components on the inside. It needs to be something that accentuates nature. Now, speaking of simplicity, there's only one cable coming out of these as well. That's for the RGB and the power. So you can see why I've gone with these. It's really the perfect fit. Now for the graphics card, we are reusing a card that we already had on hand. This is the Gigabyte GeForce RTX 4080 Gaming OC. So it's got a factory overclock right out of the box. And when we pair that with the custom water cooling, we're gonna get some sweet temperatures on this. And we'll be sure to show you guys some gameplay testing on it as well. Now we are going to be running a multi-monitor setup as well. So the 16 gigabytes of VRAM is gonna come in handy too. Plus once we water block this, the design is gonna look super clean for our minimalistic nature setup. Now, while the majority of the water cooling gear is going to be from the Lignum range, meaning that it is their wooden series, we're actually getting it in walnut. The GPU blocks, I don't think they make them in their Lignum range anymore, so we are just going for our regular water block. And so that's going to reduce the footprint of our GPU. It's going to slim it down. And with the addition of the black backplate, it also makes it a little more subtle. Another part we're also reusing is the Antec 1000 watt platinum rated signature power supply. I've been loving using Antec power supplies lately. We absolutely love their power supplies. It's a minimal design, doesn't have stickers everywhere that stick out like a sore thumb. And that's what we want for our nature setup. Got a simple badge on there, that's it. They also come with 10 years warranty, so Antec are very confident in their power supplies. 1000 watts is gonna be plenty for our RTX 4080 graphics card with plenty of headroom there as well.
Hi Corey, enjoy your new up-down desk. Carl.
Thanks, Carl.
Awesome, let's get it unboxed.
That almost got you in the head.
Oh, the legs are heavy, very heavy. Sword fight. There's two of them.
Geez, you wouldn't want to be doinked on the head with one of these. Like, that's some serious weight. Jeez, there's like no play in this. This is super sturdy.
Now you may be wondering, Corey, why do you have your soccer boots on? Well, I've got a game tonight, so I need to wear my new boots in. But that's besides the point. Now here, I've actually preset these options. By pressing it once, I could go all the way to the top. And guess what? This desk can hold up to 150 kilos. So it's gonna do this no problem. This get pretty high.
Which one did I set the bottom one to?
By the way, there's 4 presets that you can do, guys. It's pretty incredible.
There is a 10-year warranty on the frame and the electronics and 5 years on the desktop. I'm pretty sure I'm cramping. I'm Spider-Man.
How are you gonna get down?
I don't know. Press the button for me. Someone press the button! Oh.
Well, I think it's time to start elevating our workspace.
Now, for this setup, we're going with a dual monitor setup. Our first one is the big 34-inch curved OLED panel from InnoCN. This is a 175 Hz screen. We've also got a soundbar here. It is 2.1 surround sound. Now, because it is OLED, we are going to get extremely accurate colors, which is why we wanted this as our primary monitor. And we also have ultra fast response time. So if we do want to have those gaming sessions, this is the perfect monitor for it. Now, our 2.1 surround stereo also has a built-in mic as well. So if we're on conference calls or anything like that, there's no need for a dedicated microphone. We also have a USB Type-C interface, which is 65 watts, so we can get some fast charging out of the monitor as well. And you guys will see it later, but it also has atmospheric lighting. So depending on what game you're playing, it'll set the atmosphere. Now this is our second display, or our main gaming monitor. This is a 27-inch InnoCN 1440p 180 Hz G-Sync monitor. Now this is an IPS panel, meaning that we're going to get extremely accurate colors. It also has a frameless design, which I love. I hate those bulky frames around monitors. It just honestly looks pretty stupid in my opinion. It also has a 1 millisecond response time, perfect for gaming. And when we're gaming, we've also got blue light reduction, so we're not going to be doing too much damage to our eyes. I think it's about time we get these installed.
Well, I had to do a little bit of grinding to actually make this VESA mount fit. I don't actually have a full, just 75mm one. And I also had to go deep diving to actually find some longer screws to make this fit because it's not all the way down in the slot, but should work now. Actually, just cut up some radiator screws and yeah, they fit perfect.
Our monitors are installed. I got them nice and level. I'll probably do a little bit more tweaking later on in the setup because I am gonna have to remove these when I do some other work on the wall. But for the most part, this is the look we are going for. And I think it's gonna be a really unique setup for the monitors. I think I'm going to need a ladder. Wait a minute.
All right, raise me up a bit. Yeah, just press the up arrow. I'll tell you when to stop. All right, that's good. Perfect.
So for the peripherals, I really wanted something that I could customize. So I did end up going with the Project D Tinker from Ducky. Now this is a 75% keyboard powered by USB-C. And on the rear here, it has the rubber feet to stop it from sliding. And of course, we also have 2 height adjustments. Now back in January this year, when CES was on, Cherry actually announced their brand new switches, the Cherry MX2A switches. So this keyboard actually utilizes them, so I wanted to give those a try. I did also get some of the Gatron Baby Kangaroo switches as well to try in this keyboard, but for now, I really want to try these new switches, and then I'll probably switch them over in the future.
And it's really easy to customize on the switches and keycaps.
Now, this keyboard does also have RGB built in, so I am going to be trying to set it to a color that's going to match the rest of the setup, probably like a nice orange or yellow, something that matches the keycaps. And speaking of the keycaps, we actually went for a custom bobber set from Ducky, because with all the wood in the rest of the setup, I wanted it to match as much as we could get it to, which is why I also purchased a custom coiled cable for it. I think it really matches and suits the rest of the setup really well.
Now, Ducky's design philosophy is called quack mechanics, meaning they used balanced tuning, solid construction, and authentic acoustics because the gasket structure secures the plate between the upper and bottom keyboard frames. This provides users with a clean acoustic experience and a satisfying rounded keystroke sensation. Now, the keyboard itself actually has a south-facing switch layout. Now, this ensures compatibility with a wide range of keycap products.
Now, the original keycaps that came with this keyboard, they're actually a PBT double shot keycap. So what does that actually mean? Got 2 plastics molded together, which makes them seamless, which means that the legends never fade away. Now, if you guys were wondering, the original layout is kind of like a panda design. So you've got the black keycaps, but at the side there, you've actually got the white as well as underneath. So it will match any type of setup. We even have QMK and VIA support. This allows us to remap any key on the keyboard and create numerous macro commands, shortcuts, or key combinations for our keyboard on different key map layers. Yes, this includes RGB control as well. Now, the mouse I actually decided to go for is called the Ducky Feather, and it's got the feather for a reason because it's only 65 grams. I did want a lightweight mouse, but I also wanted it to be left and right-handed because Emilio is left-handed. So having that option there for the setup when we're editing is definitely gonna suit us. So we actually have finger grips on both sides. We've also got programmable buttons on both sides. The mouse is also open on both sides, which lets it breathe, but also reduces the weight. The cable itself is braided, and while it does come with some pre-installed glide pads, we actually have a few extras that come with the mouse. Now, this was certainly a big thing for me. In terms of DPI, you can get all the way up to 16,000 just by pressing this button here to your desired level. Now, the USB report rate by default is set on 500. You can actually go to 125 or 1000 just by flicking the switch on the bottom. It also has a lift-off distance switch on the bottom, so if you want it low, default, or on a higher setting, you can actually use this switch and change it. Now, by pressing the DPI button and the 5th button, you can actually enable and disable angle snapping. And for lighting effects, you press the DPI button and the 4th button, so you can choose whichever lighting effects that you like. All I have to say is It's about time. We've had 3D printers going for all of our custom PCs. This is the first time that we've actually gotten ourselves a resin printer. Now I want to do some custom stuff for this setup, and resin printing is so much more detailed than 3D printing, so we bit the bullet and we got one. This is the Elegoo Saturn 4. Now how do we set this up? Well, I've removed the film, I've put the resin in the tank. We've got to attach the plate, close the cover, and give it some power. That's pretty much it. And if you have a small brain like I do, it's got auto leveling and intelligent mechanical sensors. So I literally don't need to do anything else to this machine to get it to print. Now that is super user friendly. And the best part of it all is its large print size. So I actually chose this because it has 219 millimeters by 123 millimeters by 220 millimeters. So if I want to print something really detailed, I could actually fit it within that space and chuck it into our case mods. Now what I really need for this setup is some speaker mounts. So I might have a play around with it and see what we can come up with. What I also love is the super easy open and closing lid. Pretty easy to access your work. It's also got a great cooling system with ventilation on the side here, and a 10-inch 12K LCD made with tempered glass, which prevents a lot of scratching. All right, so there is only one thing left to do. We need to test a print. There we go, guys. Fresh off the bed. You can see it doesn't have all of the different print layers that a normal 3D printer would have. And that's why resin printing is so good for detail work. Now, this is going to come in super handy for our up and coming work, so I'm glad that we actually made the decision to get one of these finally. Also, didn't break the bank either. It was nice and affordable. So now I've got to come up with a design for some speaker stands. So I'll get to work on that. Look at that. I also managed to print out some speaker stands, so we'll give them a flat primer before we get onto the paintwork. Well, we've finished painting our first 3D printed object, apart from the test piece, of course. Let's see if it actually fits. Oh, look at that. That is so cool. Look, it even puts the speaker on a bit of an angle, so it's pointing directly towards who's going to be sitting there. That's sick. What do you reckon?
I love it.
Guys, you've seen me use the Coloplay in many of our other setups, and it's one piece of hardware that I really don't want to live without. It makes things so much easier for us, especially when we're in the middle of work and video editing. So what does it actually do? It is a PC controller, and the keypads are fully programmable with up to 4 layers. And you can program these in the Coloplay app. So you can actually record a macro or select from some of the pre-selected macros, or you could select a website or program to be accessed at the tap of a button. On the Coloplay, you can enter the keypad, hold down the middle button and scroll to access the 4 different layers. And as I said, these really help me with my video editing and my media. This screen is called Super Saiyan mode. It integrates many options into the one screen to simplify everything for me. I can see the PC temperature stats, access many functionalities that I'll use on a day-to-day basis, and scroll through even more functions just by pressing the middle button. In the Coloplay app, I can even upload my own wallpaper. Now, when I'm on PC, I can even hold down the button and the command dial will open on screen to launch applications real fast. To set this up, it's pretty similar to the keyboard section. You can record, set macros, or even link programs or websites. I can even control my Colo lights using the Coloplay. Things such as brightness, the different modes, and even the sound effect features. And instead of getting up out of my chair to turn the PC on, I could actually use this as a PC switch to turn not only the PC on, but the lights as well. I do have to say though, my favorite feature is the PC monitoring, so I can keep an eye on my CPU, GPU, RAM, temperatures, and usage. And while I'm waiting for my video files to transfer to the PC after a day's worth of work, I can actually play some of the inbuilt retro games. I never said I was any good at them. Anyway guys, I'll leave a link down below if you are interested, and I have a sweet discount code for you all as well. Colo IFR04, so you can go and check it out further if you're interested. get out. Guys, I've wanted an OLED for so long. This is crazy. I've never experienced any colors like this before, and this is my first time actually being able to play on one. And guys, like, honestly, the detail in the color is something that I haven't experienced. This is insane. This is so much better than IPS. But I've also got the other one up there playing a 4K YouTube video on that IPS panel, just to show how well that is compared to this. The color in this, so much more vivid. What about from different angles? How does it look from the side?
Looks good.
Yeah, that looks sick. That looks really good.
Happy with it?
Yeah.
You're very
This is
happy.
kind of like an early birthday present. You're not touching this. This is mine.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Sorry, but no. And guys, having so much screen real estate actually enables me to have multiple different applications open. I could be editing while having all of these programs open. So I've got Spotify here, obviously my first favorite singer, Taylor Swift, coming in #1. Then we've got Sabrina Carpenter, Espresso as #2. Definitely my favorite. But also I've got emails open, I can have games open as well, and we've got YouTube up the top there. So this monitor is really good screen real estate to have multiple applications, and that's what I love about it. And check this out, guys. The memory is running nice and smooth. We've got 64 gigabytes total, which is going to be absolutely perfect for our video editing. Running at 6,000 megahertz. And of course, it is 2 of 4 slots because DDR5 works best with 2 DIMMs at the moment, guys. I'm super happy with this PC, honestly. This is great. Well, guys, here it is, my dream gaming setup. I really hope you all enjoyed, and all of the products and specs that we use, I'll leave down in the video description. We put a lot of time and work into this, and I'm just ecstatic with how it turned out, guys. So if you enjoyed it, please do consider subscribing, and we'll see you all in the next one.